87.3 Apple
So I'm here at the Wellington Carnival before the processions take place with Marion and Michael Hancock, and they have got a rather special float to me, certainly, because it has my birthday written on the side, 5th of November. Good evening, Marion.
Good evening.
So tell me a little bit more about the float, and it seems to have a Guy Fawkes theme.
Yes, it's the traditional Guy Fawkes cart that is in the beginning of the procession in Bridgewater, and my husband, Mike, is the driver of this cart.
Excellent. And as a float, Mike, I'm sure for all of our car enthusiasts out there, what's it like to drive one of these big floats?
This one, I call it the Beast, because it's got an 8-speed gearbox. It's an old ERF truck, and but I love driving it. As a retired HGV driver, it's
Driving's your passion, then?
passion, yes.
Absolutely. So with this sort of float, how long would it take to put together?
We keep this one together all the time because we're Bridgewater Carnival Committee. So this one we just bring round to recommend Bridgewater to recommend sponsor Bridgewater Carnival. So we do this one, Ilminster this year for the first time, and Taunton, just to give out leaflets to sponsor our carnival at Bridgewater. So this cart stays as it is all the time, and then I drive it and it leads the procession in Bridgewater Carnival every year.
So how long have you been doing the Wellington Carnival?
This is about our fourth year, I believe. We brought it down to Wellington. Yeah.
So, Michael, you're the driver. Marion,
Yes.
what is your involvement with the float?
My involvement is partly costumes. I help and made some of the costumes that are used every year on this cart, and obviously maintain them and make sure they're ready for the year ahead. So that's my next challenge, is to make sure they're all nice and clean and pressed and ready to go.
Excellent. So I take it they're volunteers that help out on your float?
We're all volunteers, yes, and Mike and myself are on the committee, and every year we go to other carnivals abroad to get new ideas to make Bridgewater successful.
In the Bridgewater Carnival Committee we have 5 different sections. The cart and myself, we come under what we call procession section. So there's a whole we all muck in, and there's about 7 or 8 of us. There's about 4 of us actually keep the cart up together and running and that. But when the time comes, everybody on the committee mucks in and helps each other out in different departments. So.
And how long has the Bridgewater Carnival Committee been going for?
Oh my gosh! Now you're asking me a question. Well, we've got some members, life members, that's probably been in it 40 odd years. So I mean, other than that, we've been in it 5 years in the actual committee. But Carnival itself, I've been in Carnival over 30 years because we were both members of Griffin's Carnival Club. I was a member of Griffin's Carnival Club for 21 years before I came onto the committee.
It's funny you should say that, because actually a couple of members of the carnival committees that we've spoken to tonight met through doing carnival. Is it a common thing?
Well, one year, I was in Griffin's Carnival cart, and I was Marilyn Monroe on the cart, and Mike stepped in for somebody, and he was Charlie Chaplin, and we just got together that year, and we're quite well known as Marilyn Monroe and Charlie Chaplin getting married, so that's how we met.
It's quite a joke.
The photographer wanted us to get married in costume, but we didn't. So that's how lots of people meet through carnival. I think your heart and soul is carnival, and it helps to be both in the same.
Because they both have the same interest. You've got something to share, haven't you?
Yes. One year I had myself, my son, my husband and my dad, and he went on the cart for the first time at 75. So it's a real family tradition to all keep together and help one another.
Excellent. Marion and Michael, thank you very much for your time, and I really hope it goes very well for you tonight and for the next ones as well.
I'm standing in the mobile chemotherapy unit, and I'm here with Maria. Hi, Maria.
Hello.
So, what are you doing here today? I take it you're going to be going through the carnival.
Yeah, we're trying to raise awareness and raise a bit of funds for our charity because it's a charity-run unit that helps a lot of cancer patients in the area. So we're sort of just going to parade it through with our lights that we've put on the side of it for the day. Just
raise awareness about its existence, and so all money that goes into this is raised through charity then, is it?
Absolutely. We've got a charity called Hope for Tomorrow that own and run and maintain the unit. It costs about £230,000 to build the unit itself and run for the first 3 years, so it's imperative that we keep the money running, and we have a second charity that helps raise money for us so we can pay our drivers, all of the pumps that we have inside the unit just to keep it running, and the fuel and the insurances. So it's a lot of money to raise and a lot of awareness because a lot of people don't understand what we're doing and what it is about.
If anyone would like to see what you do, have you got a website or?
Yes, if they want to go onto the Hope for Tomorrow website, if they just type that into Google, or if they type into mobile chemotherapy unit, it comes up and they can have a look at everything we do. They've currently got 9 units around the country. This is the Somerset unit, which is called Bumble, in aid of Sir Sterling Moss, who is the patron for the unit because his mother-in-law, was unfortunately passed of cancer. So.
Okay, and if the mood took them and they wanted to donate any money to the cause, can they do that via the website as well?
They can, absolutely. There's a link on the website. If not, we do have collecting tins in the hospital at Musgrove, and if they ever want to just raise money, they can always contact the Beacon Centre and we can guide them through the best way of doing it, whether it's fundraising or just giving us a cheque.
Okay, thanks very much for speaking to us and have a fantastic evening.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I am standing here at the Wellington Carnival before the processions take place. I'm here with Kevin and Colin, who are from the Wellington Arts Association. Is that right?
That's correct. Wellington Pantomime Group we're representing today.
Excellent. And your pantomime that's coming up, tell me about it.
Well, it's The Wizard of Oz. It's written by our now award-winning author, Andrew Winfield. A fantastic story. It's not going to be quite the traditional Wizard of Oz, very much in the pantomime element. And I believe, can we talk about the dog, do you think?
No, we definitely can't talk about the dog. No.
About the dog, but,
no, it's a special. We've got to find one yet.
Well, this is it. We are on the lookout, potentially, maybe.
We are finding Toto.
And the second voice you can hear was, of course, Colin Marshall, who you are starring in a small part of it, aren't you?
Yes, I've got a very small part. Matron. It's the dame.
You are the Dame.
The dame, like you have to. Yes.
And you've played the Dame before?
Long time ago.
So do you think it's going to be stepping into old shoes, or is it going to be a case of rewrite the script totally again?
You haven't seen my wardrobe, have you?
Thankfully not, Colin. No. But so this pantomime this year, The Wizard of Oz, is going to be bigger than last year, do you think?
Oh, yes. So we did Scrooge last year, and it was very successful. And this year, I think this has certainly got a lot of people interested. We've got the cast who are really up for it, and the fantastic job they've already done, actually.
Fantastic. And as a technical director, are you for this pantomime?
Well, I'm involved in the technical side of things. There's many of us in the dark arts, as we like to call it. So Mr. Redstone's the head of that department, really. But it will certainly be full of technical surprises and wizardry. We pride ourselves on keeping the odd surprise, don't we?
We do. Yes, I've always said Kevin is from the dark side.
And without seeing a trickle of sweat down your forehead, how much work does it take to get this sort of pantomime together?
Would you like the long or the short answer?
Preferably the short answer.
A lot, but we are totally indebted to the group of volunteers. I mean, it's an entirely volunteer organisation. We're in the theatre for sort of about a 120-hour working week, which is quite a lot when most people are also fitting in a standard 40-hour week during the day as well. So we're working through the night with lots of things, and it's across the board from costumes. I mean, that work's probably started a couple of months ago with costumes, so it's nearly 12 months worth of work. As soon as the last one comes down, we're on to the next one, and it's probably worth saying we've got a new director this year. Dickie Matravers, who a lot of people will know in the Silly Billy character. He's very, very popular. He's directing this year, and Christina, who's been involved with us, his fiancée for a long time, she's doing all the dancing and the singing, so it's a really good team, I think. Team effort.
Absolutely. And you know what? Mrs. Bradnam, who's doing our costumes and who's also our lovely president, she's been working hours and hours on my costumes. I've got a huge wardrobe to show the world.
Fantastic. And in terms of going back to the carnival this evening, which is taking place, Colin, I believe I saw you in the procession for a couple of years. Is this procession a traditional thing for the Wellington Arts?
Yes, it is. I mean, we like to basically, obviously, we're going out there to promote the show. We like to also do a bit for the actual carnival, raise a bit of money for them. Give them a bit of support, and it's the whole thing. It's a huge community thing. Everyone joins in, bit of a laugh, and we all have a great deal of fun.
Fantastic. Colin and Kevin, thank you very much, and I hope both the procession goes well and your pantomime goes well. Can you tell me what the dates are for the pantomime?
Certainly can. We're on stage at the wonderful Wellesley Theatre from Wednesday the 27th to Sunday the 31st of January. Performances every night. And do you want the link to the tickets as well?
You can indeed.
Let's squeeze that in. You can give us a link on www.ticketsource.co.uk/Wellington Arts Centre, or just search Wellington Arts Centre on Google and you'll find us there.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Behind you!
Oh, no, it isn't!
Yes, it is.
Oh, go away.
I'm standing here with Debbie from the Dorset and Somerset Air Ambulance. Good evening.
Good evening.
I noticed you haven't brought the helicopter tonight.
No, unfortunately they wouldn't let me fly it, so I've just got the van with us tonight.
So I imagine you're here to raise awareness of what you do.
Absolutely, it falls nicely. It's just coming to the end of National Air Ambulance Week, so we've been flying into public places throughout the week, so it's a great end to our week.
And am I right in saying that the air ambulance is totally funded by charity?
It is. We're completely dependent on donations from the public, and we need just over £2 million per year to keep us flying.
Well, so quite a sizable sum then. So how do you do that? How do you go about raising that kind of money each year?
Well, we have lots of businesses in the area that support us. We have lots of support from schools and colleges and groups, and also people that go out and organising their own events and doing their own fundraising for us. So people come up with great ideas, and all of it is essential money for us.
Absolutely, a very good cause as well. So if anyone listening wants to give you some money or make a donation, how do they go about that?
There's various ways. They can set up a Just Giving page if they're doing a sponsored event. They can go onto our website where they can donate there, or they can donate by text as well.
Okay, fantastic. Have a fantastic evening. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm here at the Wellington Carnival before the processions take place with Guy Ford, and your float's very interesting, Guy.
Yeah, we're celebrating VE Day this year in support of the Western Oil and Aviation Museum in Western Oiland to raise the profile of the poppy appeal at the same time.
Excellent. And is this your first time at the Wellington Carnival?
No, this is our third year. Obviously, this is a brand new cart this year, a brand new entry. We're looking to raise funds for next year to buy a tractor which we can convert and put on the front of the vehicle to tow it. So,
excellent. And it's compared to the other floats, I'm not disrespecting you here, it's a smaller float, but yeah. I take it does take a lot of work.
Yeah, it takes 6 to 7 months to build. This has been built from scratch. We started building the chassis in January and we had it finished in April, and then we started building it. First carnival we did was Weymouth Charity Carnival, just to test everything out, and this is our second one on this circuit. We did Froome last weekend, and we started at Wellington this weekend.
And are you planning on going into the other carnivals that are coming up?
We've got Ilminster, Chard, Taunton, then we go down to Honiton to support theirs, and then we do the Bridgewater circuit, Midsummer Norton, and then we go back down to Honiton to do their Christmas one, and then we go back to the shed and have a few beers and chill out for a few months then.
Excellent, a well-earned chill-out session, I'm sure. And what sort of manpower do you have with this sort of float when you're building it?
It varies because I've got quite a few people in the club that have got learning difficulties, but we like to get them involved. It gets them out of home and gives them a little insight of what life's all about, because normally they're just stuck at home in front of the TV, but we get them down, a bit of painting, bit of sanding. So normally there's about 8 people maybe down the shed at one time doing stuff, so pretty busy.
Absolutely, it sounds like you've got a very hectic lifestyle with carnival floats. And aside from Wellington, of course, what upcoming carnival are you going to be treasuring the most?
I haven't really got a particular favourite, but I think Burnham-on-Sea is probably the best one because it's totally flat. There's no hills involved, and Western-super-Mare, those two. Because a lot of them, obviously I'm towing it with a van, it's quite difficult because I haven't got a low range gearbox in this, and it can be a bit awkward sometimes, especially if it's raining. Last year at Honiton, Christmas one, there was a soap bubble machine in front of me, and I was trying to go up the hill and I was just sliding backwards, so I just couldn't get up there. They had to put a tractor on the front and pull me up it. So
never a dull moment.
No, it's all a bit of fun somewhere.
Fantastic. Well, Guy, I hope you have a fantastic time here at the Wellington Carnival tonight, and best of luck with the others.
Yeah, thank you very much. Nice to meet you too.
And thank you very much.
For the caring community of Taunton, 97.